Hello YouTube! I am Pinstar and this is Empire TV Strategy and Tactics, Episode 1. So yeah, just a little insight what's going on IRL with me. My day job has gone absolutely insane and is completely devouring almost every spare hour of my life. So that's why I took last week off and why I'm randomly diving into this series. I need a comfort game, a game I know well, a game I've played before. And this is what I've picked. I have covered this game once before on my channel years ago, but it's had a bunch of updates since then, and I've unlocked the hard mode for it. So I figured let's do a proper strategy and tactics series. Also, this has been heavily looped into my name and game patrons, well, just my Patreon, as voted on. Well, let's dive in first and I'll explain. Okay, setting up our competition here. Last time we played this game, I played as the blue channel, as Pinstar and Pinstar Productions. But that's not who we're going to be this time. There's a specific achievement I'm actually after. So one part of the achievement is that you have to play as the red channel. Now, the red channel itself does not have any gameplay penalties or whatnot, but it's higher up in the tower and thus a little bit further away from the places that you want to be. I mean, at the end of the day, it's not a huge handicap, but the achievement states that you must win a game as red channel. Not only that, you need to win an expert game as the red channel. So that is what we are going to be playing on. We will be doing it as the arcade, the game experience as intended here. We'll be doing my alter ego Starch, going up against Athy and Pinstar, and of course these are my AI opponents. Now, one new aspect to the game that did not exist the first time I played is your channel's theme. You can pick any one of the different genres, plus generalist, and based on the theme that you pick, you get big bonuses to running programs and movies of that genre. You get more audience for it naturally. When you produce films and TV shows of that genre, they get more points, and therefore tend to have higher ratings. So overall, and also you're guaranteed to have news coverage for that. And actually that's another new gameplay mechanic that I'll show you off in a moment. The downside is that you get a very minor penalty for all other genres. You get slightly fewer points on productions of off-genre things, and you get slightly less audience in those. But the net effect is much higher on the upside. So it's not like you can't do your off-genre stuff. And then you got generalist, which is 5 news blocks available daily. And again, I'll explain news blocks. Well, my patrons have voted, and they have determined that I must be a fantasy-themed channel. So that is going to be our theme. So yeah, 15 extra production points for fantasy, -5 for anything else, and an extra 10% in fantasy here. Let's dive in. Okay. I'm going to pause here real quick just so I can yap. Although this is one of those games, it's technically, quote unquote, an RTS because you can't do stuff while it is paused and whatnot. But on the slowest speed, the game runs slow enough that that's not a problem. So right, let's get to our thing. And yeah, we're all the way up here. Let's take a look at our schedule. Let's see what audience blocks we're up against here. All right, we got athletes and rockers, and then followed up by the elderly. Not really a good spot for that. I think elderly are okay with musicals. I don't think athletes really care for it though, so I don't know if a musical would work here. You know what? I think sports actually would not be too bad. I don't think rockers mind sports. I don't think the elders mind it either. Actually, you know what? No. A documentary. Although, yeah, what we have available to us kind of sucks. They've got an action lined up, which I guess could also work. But we'll see. Luckily, we do have a one-tile fantasy in the form of a TV show, Digimon, which is absolutely perfect for children, so we can sneak that right in there. No problemo. But we'll see what else we can get. We can also probably do a little bit better with the sponsors. Right, now, let's go look at the news blocks. The news blocks are a new thing. So the news blocks, you purchase these and you can add them as a booster. Each news block corresponds to a different genre. As a fantasy channel, we will always have 3 blocks of fantasy available to us, but the others are random. So we got a musical on here, and then horror, actually. Interesting. Well, I'm gonna buy the fantasy one. You know what? I'm gonna grab the musical one too. All right, we're halfway through until our first show starts. We gotta pick something and quick, and we might need to pick something here. Copper Mountain might be a good thing. I'm pretty sure the elderly don't mind. They don't mind musicals. So I might go for a musical play here. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to slot in a musical in here. And that actually adds a rocker here. So we will have better things. Now, rockers obviously love music. Though I don't know if... faster than light. You know what? Let's see what's available in the movie bank here, in the movie library. Just to see if there's any low-hanging fruit that we can grab that might be perfect and also a really good rating. The Evil That Men Do is just really good in general. I might pick that up. Just yeah. Cowboys and Aliens, maybe. Doomed Sarcophagus. White Chicks is pretty good for a lower one. But we'll see if we need that. There's a couple of really good fantasies here. Last Legion, Percy Jackson. I might load up on those just so that we have some good fantasies in our repertoire. These ratings are out of 10, by the way, but in the early game, you do not have access to the big stuff. All right, we got 8 minutes, in-game minutes left to pick our poison here. I'm not actually sure if I want to do this. I don't think horror works. Yeah, you know what? We're gonna go with that. I'm gonna hope that athletes don't mind musicals, but I'm pretty sure they do. Now, I do have one veto, so I could do that. You know what? I'm gonna swap in this action real quick and take out this musical one just in time, because I'm pretty sure they both don't mind it, and because it's a 16 plus, that gives everybody a little bit of a booster to their enjoyment of it. Now we've got Alabama Fried Wings and Menta Spice. In order to get an ad segment, in order to get paid for an ad contract, we need to have 4 successful ads for this one, 3 for this one. But there's a minimum audience. And actually, we've got a really good one. So let's swap in Menta Spice, and actually, let's see if we can get some more effective ads here, because we're rocking about 250 people. So we can look for something that has closer to that, because they tend to pay more. Yeah, not 400 and some odd. 255 Mellow Yellow. I mean, yeah, we can do a AZDZ shampoo. Ooh, we can get, for kids, we can get a hollow bars, but we can grab those later. Alright, let's swap you in, because you're not committed to a thing until it actually reaches that segment. And then we could do like a Menta Spice here. Alright, now that the time has progressed, we can see the next block here. And actually, let's go up. Actually, no, let's go down to the technology area, because there's some upgrades we can buy. We want another worker desk, absolutely. Everything else we can hold off on for the moment, just because money is tight. And yeah, one of the hallmarks of hard mode is that, oops, no, not you. Money is very tight. Okay, so let's see what we want here. We're not quite ready to go into, oh yeah, community manager, absolutely. And let's get you leveling up right away. Audience analyst lets us see more. We'll take the slightly cheaper audience analyst and start leveling them up. Yeah, content specialist is nice, but not necessary. Marketing manager lets us get that, but those get expensive early on. I guess we can grab a script writer and start having them start. Yeah, let's get a script writer. Let's start having them start writing new scripts. Well, we want you to practice fantasy, so start working on that. We're not in any shape to actually start producing those things, but we can have them practice. And now with an audience analyst, now we can see more. So we got a couple of old folks. Actually, you know what? A Western's not too bad. I mean, I know that doesn't tailor itself to kids, but kids don't hate Westerns. So we can make that work for us. And then our first block of prime time, that's Men in Skeeks, that screams sci-fi. Do we have a good sci-fi? Maybe. Oh yeah, let's get, we're gonna put a fantasy block in here. All right, we've got you when it turns green, you know you have enough people here. All right, and we know, all right, down here we have lovers and children, which can be a tricky duo. Actually, fantasy is not too bad. Actually, you know what? I think we can get away with fantasy here, even though the men don't really love it, because we can get fantasy here, and that will add children to this mixture. And then we can do another news broadcast for fantasy down here. Because lovers don't mind fantasy. They don't love it, but with the addition of children here, we are pretty good. And then we'll have to see what the next ones bring us. Work finished. Oh yes. That's the one, yeah, script writers, you just have to keep going up to visit them. And yeah, let's go revisit our contracts with kids. Craft quality, but every time they write a script, they gain some XP, which can level them up in that. Actually, you know what? I think at this point, I'm just grinding for XP. So I'm just gonna do some just random genres. I'm not actually fishing for workable scripts yet. Also here, the game statistics, we can see how we did. So we kicked everybody's butt in day one. So the way you win this game is each hour of each day, you are competing against whatever the others are showing. Yeah, see, they went with musicals. And whoever gets the most viewers gets 3 points. Whoever gets the second most viewers gets 2 points. Whoever gets the least viewers gets 1 point. So yeah, and it looks like we just barely edged out the win over here. So we did pretty well with our first two days. Let's get kids going. Oh my God, more? Are we gonna use up both of our fantasies? Yeah, hang on, give me a second. As long as we get there before the show ends. 297, well, we know we can do Apollo candy bars. Yeah, play statics is, we don't quite have the oomph to get play statics going. Those you kind of have to line up in advance in prime time with a whole bunch of bonuses and yeah. But we can absolutely get Apollo candy bars, and we can probably finish that off with down here. The person-specific ones tend to be more lucrative as well because they only count if that type of audience member is in there. And yeah, if down here we could use up our other fantasy movie. I'm glad I picked both of those up. Because we get that 10% natural channel audience boost just because it's fantasy. All right, we can speed things back up again. We also have a lot of lovers. Let me see what ad campaigns are good for lovers around here. Cancun Hotel would probably be doable. Link Cosmetics is beyond us. Soul Glow's, yeah. I might pick up Super Glue, depending on what some of the numbers are looking like. Got our next script going up. It's probably going to be garbage. That's fine. Let's do drama. Yeah, so we've got more than enough people for the Apollo candy bars here. Yeah, if we get enough with this first round of this here. Optional quest. So, a minimum rating 3.7 sport that has a minimum year of 1995. They want us to program it down here. Now you start off with one of each one. We have the right thing. And no. So Johnny Be Good does not count. It is too old. So we need to buy a new one if we want to even attempt this one. I mean, it's not a hard thing. You get a good cash payout. So I'm inclined to do that. Men. I might do a sci-fi here because men like sci-fi more than fantasy. Also, I might do horror, because that's one of our news segments. We could veto out the kids because obviously we don't want and that adds rockers. Yeah, you know what? Let's do a horror because men like horror, lovers like horror. Beast of Yucca Flats should be good unless we have some low-hanging fruit down here. So we will put Beast of Yucca Flats. We will veto the kids, which basically just says, no kids, you're not watching this one. And then we will slip in horror, and that gives us a 5% audience booster and adds rockers who both love horror. So that will do quite well. 190, yeah, see, that wouldn't work for Super Glue. Not quite high enough. But it's good enough for Menta Spice, so I'll take it. Academy Awards, Best Romance. Okay, so if we want to make a shot at that first Academy Award, we gotta start churning out scripts for romance and hope we don't keep getting crap. So let's try more romance. Probably not going to be good, but I've seen like some random masterwork scripts come out of like a low-level worker. Just like, I don't know if there's like a beginner's luck type deal or what, but it's kind of funny. Oh yeah, let's go check out. We don't have much money though, so I don't know if checking out more movies is going to get us something. We need to complete some of our ad campaigns. Monster Truck is way too thick for our blood. Fisher Dynamite might be a good one too, because there's some men scattered around here. Let's grab Fisher Dynamite. Yeah, see, the kids are neutral on Western, so this is actually not a bad segment for them all. And they're present to let our Apollo Candy Bar, which you can see. So we're going to get 94 and 94,5 for completing it. And obviously, if you let these contracts run out without completing them on time, then you get a penalty. Ooh, I could do a sports here, but the geeks would hate it. We could do an action here. We'll see what's on here for this sport thing. But yeah, let's we'll do this shampoo here. We can do Cancun Hotel. Actually, this might be a good Cancun Hotel too, because it's in prime time and it's slightly bigger. And then AZDC, I mean, this, yeah, there we go. And then we can Menta Spice here. And then we're gonna have to find something more. Actually, I should go grab the men, because that would be a better one for men. Oh, I did grab the men. All right. Oh, Panucci's Pizza is really good as like as a generic one. You can re-roll these for a cost, but you have to you have to pay for the tech for that and then pay for the re-rolls. Below average ain't gonna cut it. Let's keep hammering away on romance. Oh wait, hang on. Keep you leveling up. Yeah, see, men are neutral on fantasy, which is fine, because we're getting big channel bonuses for this anyway. Because we're fantasy, that's our specialty. Rockers. Gonna have well, actually, they might not mind sports, so we just need to find a good sports one. Like a documentary wouldn't be too bad here. I mean, the men aren't going to like it, but they can deal with it. Yeah, I think we can make that happen. And we did get paid for one of our ad blocks, so we can actually buy a movie. Let's see if we can fish up a good sports movie that. Yes, crossover. There we go. Bingo. We got our sports movie. Any other ones that we might want? New Year's that's a big one right there. The Pyramid as a 16 pluser, I can see that one being good. Next, as a glamour. Glamour means it's just you get a boost to all women. You can also start selling some of our stuff. Let's, we're never gonna show Tesmon Car. We're probably not gonna show Faster. Well, we might show Faster Than Light. The Gaul. I'd rather have Wild Things. Ben and Arthur, get rid of. Maybe. Yeah. Lovers are neutral on fantasy, so we're good there. Alright, I think we can, it may not be the most obvious, the most powerful of things to program it. Oh yeah, let's go talk to our scriptwriter, see if we can't get a, alright, you know what, I'll take a good quality. And now here's one thing that we can do for romance. One moment. There we go, Leaf Lover. So all of the what you actually write here does not actually influence the quality of the script. Everything gameplay wise is all down here. But I decided to put in a little bit of a thing here. And for those of you who are Name and Game patrons, you can submit requests or suggestions for stories of your own. So I'm just starting one off here, sort of generic, where this is a romance movie, or romance script rather, but everything I'm going to do is going to be sort of, you know, by way of fantasy, even though it is not strictly speaking fantasy. So let's save this. I'm going to keep having you write stuff just now to start practicing, because we're going to use that for our Academy Awards. Let's check the tech area. How much is it? Because we gotta do a studio repair for 50. Okay. Alright, so now we can hire actors for our little romance here. Let's just hope we have people that are good at romance. Oh, you're a 5, which at this point is about as good as you're gonna get. So we'll take Pam Parker here. Romance at a 4, romance at a 5. All right, 2 romance. Does it let me choose? Yeah, the original script says like what the role is, and I would rather put like elf as one and dwarf as the other, but I don't know if I don't think it lets you do that, but it doesn't really matter. We get that there, and then let's get creating. So I don't know how good this is going to be. So we're going to do not a mini TV show, a TV movie. This is going to be a movie, but it's a 1 hour block long one. It's good enough to submit to the Academy. And then because we barely have any points to our name, we're just going to go. So this is the more you invest in something, the more points it costs for the next point in it. So always get yourself a floor of 4. 4 points is like kind of the minimum you need for all categories. And then you obviously want to pump more points into categories that matter, like eroticism, hair and makeup. Actually, that's good enough. Eroticism, hair and makeup. It's a little saucy of a movie. And later in the game, about the halfway point, you'll be able to enable modifiers, which can give us some of those audience modifier things to it. But unfortunately, we don't have access, so it's going to be default. No special modifiers. All right, and that takes 2 hours in game, so that'll be ready for tomorrow. Okay, we've got our sports movie crossover, right? Yeah. Minimum year. Sometimes they do maximum year. They want an oldie. We're going to have to find some fragmented ones here. I think we'll do Eat Till You Drop up here. Game shows, nobody actually loves game shows, but nobody actually hates them either. What other? I mean, this Faster Than Light is going to be absolutely terrible. Oh yeah, we got Cancun Hotel, I just realized. Just barely, too. It would have turned red to alert me of that if that was a problem. Yeah, see, now we're not pulling the numbers we need for this. Not nearly enough. So we're gonna have to swap in. We'll do an AZDC here, and then we can do Fisher Dynamite here. Panucci should work here. Yeah, if we had a one for of music, because we still have that one marketing block for musical here. Let's see if we can find a one for a musical. Oop, and we've got Pam Parker scene, taking illegal substances. Do you want to pay for a detox? Yeah, let's pay for detox. We do not need our actors. Actually, I just realized Pinstar's ahead of me here. I gotta check our rankings here. All right, dismiss that. Sorry for my dog's woofage. Let's take a look at our rankings and let's see if we can't get a one tile. Alright, so we won these three, and then we've come second place each time, but every single time Pinstar has been the one that's been beating us, and it looks like they're going to do the same thing here. They beat me at my own game here. With a 5.5 beautiful creatures, dang. Yeah, I knew I probably should have done that, but eh. Oh, wait a minute, that's a threefer. They got a 5.53 block movie. No wonder. Local celebrities? Nah. Right. Let's go see if we can get that one for musical. There is a one for musical here. I could pick that up. The Mark Please experience. There's one other option. So that last tier is all men. We could go find a porno. This illegal movie seller sells two different things. These are movies with ratings that you normally can't buy yet, and you have a chance of getting it taken off the air and getting fined and losing all your audience and whatnot. But you also have pornos, which, you know, now the sexy sixth sense here, I don't know, because I mean, it's going to improve things, but I don't really think any of them like comedies at all, or romances, really. So I think we might go... That's unfortunate, because if we had any other genre plus porno, that would actually work out pretty well for us. But I think we're just going to get the musical. The one block musical. That's the other thing with pornography is it has to be late at night or you get a big fat fine. So you can't be like lining up pornos in the middle of prime time. But down here at the end of the thing here, it would have been safe. But yeah, the Mark Please experience, and we will use our musical thing. I mean, the rockers are already there, so it doesn't add like more rockers. And we'll see if actually it'll probably be an Alabama fried wings. I don't see us getting a ton of people here. All right, yeah, I didn't. Yeah, more Alabama fried wings. Nobody really hates game shows. I mean, so the men are disliking them, but nobody really likes them either. A new drug in candy form. No. Yeah, we're just shoring up all their negatives because, like, the Academy Award category. Centipedes? Is that what that show is about? I mean, I'm all for a good eating reality show, but no, I'm not really into the gross out ones. All right, let's see how our thing did. Far from perfect. Yeah, I don't know. Uh, 4.3. Something technically maybe sort of passable. But it's at least we can submit it. It doesn't cost anything to submit. And it only cost us a little bit to make. We're not going to get too big into... Old habits die hard. All right, let's speed things up along here because I think we're all situated for the day. Whoa, 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 whoa. Hang on. Panucci. Oh, God, we're not even making Menta spice here. Or, Alabama fried wings. We are going to get literally no ad progress out of this block because we can't even hit the Alabama fried wings. We're 84. Well, we're losing that block to say the least. I guess rockers really don't like the sports, but we are going to get so the one consolation prize is you get a good chunk of change from the quest and you get a point out of it. So even though we're probably going to lose this block, we're going to get more points, more fame points. Let's keep working on fantasies because I want to have like actually good fantasies, like a good chain of them going. And we have actually a chance to do those properly. I probably also could have done like a 2-block one and had the audience from the earlier block carry itself over. Okay. So yeah, we're gonna actually can we let me slow things down a little bit here. Men really hate the musical. All right, duly noted. 150 is not enough for the 150, so we'll take our Alabama fried wings and we'll be happy with it. 20-minute warning. Yeah, we kind of fell off there. Pin's kicking our butt, but we can come back. As we start lining up some more stuff, we need some better scripts than that, though. Let's keep hammering away at fantasy. Tomorrow is another day. Alright, folks, so if you guys like this episode and you want to see more like it, go ahead and hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and leave me a comment, good, bad, or indifferent. Your feedback's always welcome. So until next time, this has been Pinstar signing out. See ya! We're tied at the end of the day. Not too bad.